Welcome to Expanding Your Green Job Search. I'm David.Thomson. In this presentation, I'm going to attempt to broaden the scope of your green job search by profiling two fictional companies, comparing the similarities and differences between the two organizations, and hopefully providing you with an expanded mindset that will enable you to find that elusive green job. Our first fictional company profile is Gas Guzzler, America's first 1,200 horsepower street legal SUV. It has 4 gas tanks and 400 horses at each wheel. Comes with a monstrous options package and is rapidly becoming a strong competitor in the luxury SUV market. Here we have a simplified organizational chart for Gas Guzzler. The company has a board of directors, a president and CEO, and 5 departments: business development and R&D, human resources administration and information technology, finance, operations, and marketing, public relations, sales, and service. And of course, if you wanted to explode one of these departments, for example, operations, you would get a much more detailed perspective of the organizational structure. You have your productions and facilities management in yellow, your materials management in green, and your in-house engineering team in pink. But for the purposes of this presentation, we don't need to get into that level of detail. I just want you to picture the diverse variety of job opportunities within the various departments of this company. Now let's have a quick look at Gas Guzzler's supply chain. Raw materials such as steel, rubber, and glass are imported from Asia and processed in Mexico. The processed raw materials are then shipped to the various tier suppliers, which produce components and subassemblies, which are in turn shipped to Gas Guzzler's manufacturing facility in New York for final assembly. The finished Gas Guzzler vehicles are then transported across the country to various dealerships in the Southwest to meet the demands of the company's target market. Now let's meet one of Gas Guzzler's many profiteers. Meet Sweet Marie. Sweet Marie owns and operates a small business which provides after-hours cleaning services to Gas Guzzler dealerships. Now let's find out a little bit more about Sweet Marie personally. She's an avid environmentalist, religiously recycles, has a grid-tied ground-mounted PV system on her property and solar pool heating, and her family are actively involved in a variety of green activities in the community. Now, I've heard that business relationships sometimes make strange bedfellows, but isn't Sweet Marie a prime candidate for a green job? Let's have a look and see if we can find her one. This is a non-fiction list of jobs that I pulled from green job boards this morning. Let's see if we can find a fit for Sweet Marie. Okay, Forest Ranger. Seems a little bit specialized. Let's move on to the next one. Solar installer, $9 an hour, 20 hours per week. Well, right off the bat, that level of compensation is way too low for a solar installer, so this ad is probably looking for a helper. It's also part-time and would be about an 80 or 90% pay cut for Sweet Marie. So let's move on to the next one. Recycling line workers needed, that sounds like minimum wage. Environmental canvasser, part-time. Telemarketing, that is minimum wage. Volunteer coordinator, that's less than a year's contract. Camp counselor, that's a summer job. This is depressing. And it puts a whole new perspective on Gas Guzzler. Because when you consider the economic realities and the cost of living in North America today, it would be unrealistic to consider any of those jobs. And because Gas Guzzler is profitable, the company is able to provide competitive, good-paying job opportunities throughout the entire organization and supply chain. Now let's take a look at our second fictional company profile, and perhaps it's a better fit for Sweet Marie. Auntie Jeanette's Organic Applesauce. Fresh, local, quality. 100% organic applesauce, 100% locally grown and delivered, 100% recyclable and compostable packaging. It sounds a little bit like a mom and pop shop, but I assure you that is just the way the product is marketed. Now let's have a look at Auntie J's supply chain. Auntie J has multiple small, decentralized manufacturing facilities or hubs which are located in and around apple orchards across North America, and each hub has its own small fleet of hybrid electric biodiesel trucks. Working in a Kanban system with a cooperative of local farmers, empty trucks are filled with local apples and returned to the hub, where the apples are then processed using renewable technologies such as solar thermal for pasteurization. The product is then packaged and distributed to a local retailer network via the same hybrid biodiesel trucks. The location and spacing of the hubs allows AntiJ to maintain a wide geographic customer base with limited waste and environmental impact. Now, from what we've seen so far, these firms could not be more different. This is really an apples to oranges comparison, no pun intended. Two very different types of products, obviously different levels of complexity, manufacturing and distribution systems, strategic and market strategies, etc. But when we view each company completely from an environmental perspective, doesn't it appear that AntiJ's corporate philosophy is in good alignment with Sweet Marie's core values? And this is where it gets interesting. Let's have a look at AntiJ's organizational chart. It's virtually the same as Gas Guzzlers. And because AntiJ's is also profitable, the company is also able to provide competitive, good-paying job opportunities throughout the entire organization. A variety of jobs within the various departments, as you remember from earlier. And wouldn't any job in this organization be considered a green job? The answer is yes. And this is where we need to broaden our concept of the green job. Because the green job market is a hidden job market. Ironically, hidden in plain sight, as crazy as that sounds. Jobs like waste management director, forest ranger, and solar installer actually fall into a specialized niche segment of the market and are the types of jobs that are typically found on green job boards. But if a company like AntiJ was looking for a production supervisor, it would likely appear in a standard job posting and would not be advertised as a green job. So it's really up to the individual job seeker to research the market and companies to find those good green jobs. And this is your opportunity to expand your green job search. I have people come up to me all the time and say, Dave, I feel strongly about organic food, but I'm not a farmer. I'm an accountant. Or Dave, I love solar technology, but I'm not interested in getting up on people's roofs. I'm an industrial mechanic. Or Dave, I'm passionate about wind power, but I'm not an electrician or an engineer. I'm a website designer. We have to broaden our perspectives here. Don't just think of a solar panel as a rectangle on a roof. Somebody had to invent it, somebody had to design it, somebody had to source the materials, somebody had to build it, somebody had to sell it, somebody had to deliver it, somebody had to install it, and somebody had to collect the money. And potentially somewhere in that chain is your green job. So follow your passion. Whether you choose to pursue a green job that's specialized, such as a hydrogen fuel cell developer, or you simply choose to work for a company that has corporate social responsibility and environmental sustainability missions that are in line with your personal values, I'm confident that if you do your research, you can find a green job that fits you. I'm David Thompson, and this has been Expanding Your Green Job Search.